What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be about, in my opinion, the most notorious and recognizable character ever added to Marvel Contest of Champions, Stark Enhanced Spider-Man. I think he's the perfect champion. I think he's aged wonderfully since his release in 2017, and him being a 7-star, just the power that he brings to the table and the tech class in general is undeniable. So I'm just going to get right into it. This is actually live gameplay, and I'm not doing a voiceover over prior recorded stuff. I want to show him off against a couple of fights, specifically Bullseye and Onslaught at the 7-star rank 3 level on the CCP testing map, and then I can show him off in like Realm of Legends and stuff like that, just to get a gauge for the damage in a little higher health pool scenario. Alright, so the name of the game is doing that, and now we can go for an intercept if we can land one. And now we just wait for the power drain to come back. Typically, we'd have a relic in this situation. If it were actually a Battlegrounds fight, we would have a relic. But we do not have the relic right now, so we just have to wait for the power drain to come back. We'll land a heavy attack. I really don't like the Blexterity that's happening right now, but it is what it is. Alright, and now we go for... I was going to go for a intercept there, but he did not go for it. And we just go for a special 2, and Bullseye is down. So, pretty healthy takedown of a Bullseye. Just over a minute, but in actuality, this fight's typically around 50 seconds because you don't have to wait for the power drain to come back, and you don't have to take that additional block damage going for a parry or an intercept. So let's go fight Onslaught now. That's another one of Stark Spidey's best matchups, and I might fight Photon as well, because he's pretty good for Photon too. He's just all around such an incredible champion, and not just for short form content, he really works for every piece of content, short form, medium form, long form. The only thing where maybe he's not the absolute best is Everest content, but even then, his damage output is so consistent with those 5-figure crits that he is decent enough in Everest content where if you need to use him, he can work. And I might be trying to make some Everest content videos with Starkey in the future. So Onslaught just clearly does not want to play ball here. That's fine, because we don't really need him to. Because he's already dead. So there's a 36-second Onslaught takedown. I could have saved myself some health there, again, if I had the relic, if it was really a battleground situation. So Stark Spidey, just ridiculous for these very tough defenders. I think I'll try a Photon fight as well, just to say I did it. So he really is just the epitome of MCOC. And then after this Photon fight, we can just go into Realm, show him off a little bit more, and do a more casual chat about the character and why I like him, why I ranked him. I actually have kind of a history with Stark Spidey. He was released in the game when he first came out as a 2-star, so everybody in the game had access to him as a 2-star character. And it was for the release of Spider-Man Homecoming. That was when Stark Spidey came out. It was him and Vulture. And he was such a hit. I mean, even now, Stark Spidey is still one of the best champions in the entire game. One of the best tech champions, for sure. And just look at this damage output. This is so unbelievably consistent. And we go for an intercept, and it doesn't even matter. We took no damage there against that Photon, and that was 42 seconds. So he's just ridiculous. If you play well, Stark Spidey can deal so much damage in such a little time. So now I'm going to swap over to my main account, and we're just going to plow through Realm of Legends, do a couple of fights there, and have some more fun, just kind of doing a casual chit-chat with Stark Spidey. But he really is just incredible. The utility he brings to the table with the poise charges, the taunt, the awakened ability I find to be extremely important. I know when Stark Spidey initially came out, and I picked him from the selector from the Karina challenges. I did not awaken him, and I somewhat regret that. I somewhat don't regret that. There's a part of me that maybe wishes I did take him, but then I wouldn't have my 7-star Masacre, so I'm very content now having the Masacre unawakened and now having the awakened Stark Spidey. I'm very content with that. So there really is no regret anymore. There used to be a little bit of regret just because I saw other people awakening their Stark Spideys and I was very jealous because he was a champion that I wanted to awaken quite badly. And I skipped out on it for the time being. But now I am no longer missing out because here he is at 7-star rank 3, dealing 25k mediums and 15k light attacks. He is just an absolute monster. Yeah, and we're going for this special 2 here. If we get some crits, this should be able to finish him off. Yeah, there you go. So that's 550,000 health in 44 seconds. And again, that damage is super consistent. He doesn't lose it. The damage doesn't go away, you know? You can ramp it up by dexing one time. Just one dex, and the poise charge that you lost, you gain it again. So he really is just such a ridiculous character. And I'm sort of baffled that they released him as a 7-star. I feel like it has helped maintain his relevance, even though the 6-star rank 5 ascended, which a lot of people ranked up. I know Legacy specifically brought his 6-star to rank 5 and ascended him. I know he was dealing ridiculous damage at that level, but the 7-star rank 3, you know, even if you throw the crit damage stat focus on, is just ridiculous. I'm not even going to maintain my max poise charges here. I'm sitting at 8, and Captain Marvel is already basically dead. Yeah, there you go. That may have been faster than Winter Soldier. Yeah, 41 seconds with class disadvantage. That was a faster fight. So, we'll do a couple more fights here. It's amazing to play with Stark Spidey again. It's been a long, long time since I've actually used Stark Spidey. Obviously, like, you can use him in the crit me meta because the awaken ability doesn't matter, and other specific metas where you don't need the dupe. But having an unawakened Stark Spidey versus an awakened Stark Spidey, it really is a whole new world. So, I'm so happy to finally have him. One thing that maybe not a lot of people talk about, but I always find aesthetically pleasing, is how certain character icons look with the 7-star border. I think Stark Spidey specifically looks incredible with the 7-star border, and it's just nice to see that purple glow with the silver stars around Starky. I think I'm just going to try to go for a special 1 stun lock here and finish him off. We have 9 poise charges. One good thing about villain champions is the taunt lasts longer against them natively, so you add the awakened ability plus the villain tagged characters adding to the taunt duration, and you can maintain those poise charges for a very, very, very long time. So you can upkeep that damage consistently. And this is all unboosted. The only synergy I have here is Blade, and that's just speeding up my ramp by 3 poise charges. So instead of having to ramp 10, I only have to ramp 7, and that's not really a huge deal because all I would need to do is dex 3 more times rather than only doing 7. I'd have to do 10. It really is not a big deal at all. But this damage is just so consistent. These combos are nearing 100,000 per combo. It's just insane. And the taunt allows him to bait specials easily, keeps the opponent aggressive, so you can dex those specials and you can keep those poise charges up. And I'm just going to go for a full combo here into a special 2, and if we get some crits, Rhino should be dead. Yeah, I'm just going to let the shock take him away. The shock damage, you know, not the highest shock damage in the game, but it is still very, very decent. That's almost 3,000 damage per tick, and those shocks can stack up to 3 times from the special 2. So there is a lot of damage coming from that special 2. But in some matchups, especially against Onslaught or characters that you don't want to inflict shock against, you can just spam special 1 and go for that stun loop, and you have plenty of damage coming from that. So I love Stark Spidey, and I'm thinking a lot more people are going to be having their Stark Spideys up at rank 3 and awakened. I think some people originally just went for the dupe, and I don't blame them one bit, but I think the exclusivity of champions like Masakre and Spidey 99 kind of warrants picking up 2 of them. But I would not have blamed you if you went for Stark Spidey first and just got the dupe. Because, I mean, this is ridiculous stuff right here. That was 34 seconds for 550,000 health. So, yeah, I think I'm just gonna end it off here. Maybe no, let's fight Vision, because Vision's a robot, and that's a fun fight to do with Stark Spidey. Because if you don't know, robots, they take extra shock damage against Stark Spidey, or the Special 2 inflicts additional shock, should I say. It's technically the same thing, but the Special 2 inflicts more shocks against robots, so it's a nice little bonus when you're fighting champions like Ultron, Nimrod, even though you really shouldn't fight Ultron with Stark Spidey. If you were to fight him, he would take double shock damage. The thing is, he has so much damage already that trying to get to Special 2, they're already less than 50% health. So yeah, there's 4 shocks. It would typically only be 3 if you were to land a shock on every hit. But if you land a shock, you actually land 2. So yeah, it's very, very nice. So that is where I'm going to leave it off on Stark Enhanced Spider-Man. I love him, and I cannot wait to use him in literally every piece of content going forward, because he is a jack of all trades, and maybe not a master of none, because he's definitely a master at certain stuff, like short form burst, and then medium form consistent damage. He's among the best in that category. So let me know your thoughts down below on Stark Enhanced Spider-Man. Do you have him ranked? Do you have him awakened? Are you planning to rank and awaken him? Anything like that, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you have not already, and hit the bell for notifications if that's something you're interested in. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.